Hey, what's up survivors? Welcome back to the channel. Last time we broke down the resilience style meta and you guys absolutely love it. But today the meta is shifting. We are diving deep into the Berserker style and I have got a lineup that is going to change the way you look at your marches. We are looking at the ultimate synergy between Stark, Infantry, Bobby, Hunter and Logan, Rider. If you think these heroes are just strong individually, wait until you see what happens when you start stacking their abilities together. We are talking massive shields, insane damage reduction and a debuff loop that makes your enemies hit like wet noodles. Let's break down the synergy. The foundation here is Stark's defensive aura. So, first up, let's talk about Stark. He's the anchor of this match. His passive suppressing field is the reason this team is so hard to kill. At the start of the battle, he reduces damage taken for all friendly Berserker style squads by a massive 24%. But here's the kicker. He immediately applies 5 stack on Enfeeble to all enemy squads. This is the primer for our entire strategy. Enfeeble reduces the damage the enemy deals. By starting the fight with this, you are already neutralizing the enemy's opening burst. Plus, his Razor Thorns shield provides insanely 960% shield that actually reflects damage back to the attacker. Stark isn't just a tank. He's a defensive engine that punishes the enemy for even trying to touch you. But here's also the synergistic loop, the freeze and fear engine. So now this is where it gets interesting, to unlock the true potential of this match. We need to look at how Bobby and Logan interact with Stark's setup. Look at Logan's passive. His Snowy Owl deals 20% damage for every single stack of Enfeeble, Fear or Freeze on the enemy. So, because Stark starts the battle with 5 stacks of Enfeeble, Logan's Owl is already buffed from second one. Then we have Bobby and his green paint can is a game changer here. It normally applies 3 stacks of Enfeeble, but if the enemy is already frozen, it applies an additional 3 stacks. Where does the freeze come from, you may ask? Both Stark and Logan. Stark applies 2 stacks of freeze with his coffin spin, and Logan applies a stack of freeze every time his shield is hit. So Stark freezes them, Bobby sees the freeze and doubles down with a massive 6 stack Enfeeble, and then Logan's Owl sees all those total stacks and absolutely shreds the enemy health bars. It's a perfect horizontal synergy. But there is also a damage multipliers. So let's talk about the fear debuff. Both Bobby and Logan apply fear, which reduces enemy healing. This is a crucial in the current meta where healing can make fights last forever. But Bobby takes it a step further with his multicolor can. This skill deals 120% damage specifically to squads that are already suffering from fear or freeze. Since Logan is constantly swinging his ice axe to apply fear and Stark is spinning his coffin to apply freeze, Bobby's multicolor cans are almost always hitting with that insane 120% damage sailing. And don't forget Bobby's red can, because there are 3 colors. It gives a flat 5% damage increase to all Berserker style squads. Since our entire march is built around the Berserker style, everyone, Stark, Logan and Bobby himself, benefits from his boss. We can't forget about the 8-turn nuke. Finally, let's look at the big one. Logan has a special condition. every 8 turns if the enemy's first 2 rows have ever been affected by Enfeeble, Fear or Freeze, the owl deals a massive 400% damage nuke. Between Stark's 5 stacks of Enfeeble at the start, Bobby's paint cans and Logan's axe, it is literally impossible for the enemy to avoid this. You are guaranteed that 400% burst damage every 8 turns. When you combine this with Stark's 480% damage from his coffin spin, you are looking at a mid-fight execution that most resilience teams simply cannot survive. So, to wrap it up, Stark provides the protection and the initial debuffs. Bobby amplifies those debuffs and buffs the team's damage, and Logan acts as the finisher, using his owl to exploit every single stack placed by his teammates. If you want to match that is incredibly tanky thanks to the 24% damage reduction and massive shields, but still has the teeth to bite through high defense teams, the Stark Bobby Logan Berserker combo is your new best friend. So, what do you think, guys? Are you running Berserker Style this season? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe and stay safe out of there in the settlement.